Over the past 2 months, I've played over 150 games developing a Underdog 352 system, which got a Vitesse side full of children promotion to the top flight and developed on stream to get a club predicted down in 8th to division 3rd just outside of the European places. It uses some of the best roles in the game, like a free roll in the cam, and it's an incredibly high-scoring tactic for a team which just shouldn't be doing this well. And as usual, of course, we have built 3 separate variants, which are all available to download on the Patreon down below. Now, as mentioned, this is the tactic from our Vitesse Let's Play, which has been running on this channel now for around about a month and a half. And we developed this tactic over the course of a bunch of seasons. And finally, in Season 3, gained promotion to the top flight of Dutch football. And that was all while using a youth to gold method. Players not being able to sign over 19, and every single player over the age of 29 must leave the club. And you can see our team is basically full of 18, 19 and 20-year-olds, and it got us to finish in 3rd place in the Eredivisie. In the second period, we were the best team on 22 points, 7 wins, 1 draw and 1 loss. And as you can see from the predicted table, predicted down in 7th place, but that's only because Young Ajax, Young AZ, Young PSV and Young Utrecht cannot get promoted, so they're all better than us, predicted basically down in 11th and finished in 3rd place, 3 points off of Young Ajax, which is an incredible season, especially considering our final 4 games, we basically played the kids. So it's a tactic which has done very well in this Vitesse Let's Play. But probably where it done even better was live on stream, where we stream 2 PM on Mondays, Wednesdays and Fridays on the Kempi channel and on KempiXI on Twitch with Pod Brezova, a club from Slovakia who are predicted normally to finish down in 8th place. That was 9th at the start of the season, but because of how well we played, we managed to get ourselves to finish in 3rd. And if it wasn't for losing to Michelavi on the final day of the season, would have got European football going into Season 2, which is absolutely insane. And actually built us into a very good defensive side over the course of this season with a bunch of in-game tweaks, which of course build up the other 2 systems rather than just the standard. And I think that kind of the most impressive thing, and to show really the tactical change this tactic gave us, is the end of the season before. Our form was pretty abysmal going into the end. Coming into the brand new season, well, completely changed. We were a team on fire. We were top of the Slovakian league for quite a long time, having some massive victories. And you can see going on games that we just simply would not concede and were absolutely brilliant. The form did eventually fall away a little bit because sadly in Slovakia, there's a 2-month gap where you don't play any football. So this January spell was just friendly, so then nothing to be really looked into. And then towards the end of the season, we absolutely fumbled it. I would say that's more me than the tactic, to be honest. But considering this is a team spending just £650,000 a week and we were competing up at 2.26 million, we had £4 million in debt, so any transfers were 3 agent. Shows just how good the tactic is. But let's talk about the tactic itself then, shall we? We are going to break this down for you guys so you can see exactly what this tactic does. And if you want to stay around and see a few highlights, we'll get the highlights in there as well. And I'll break down a defensive and attacking situation after that. Now, as I said, these tactics are available on the Patreon down below, and any support you can give over there means absolutely everything. The main variation of the tactic is available for completely free. The other 2 are going to be up for £3 or available to purchase, and the £5 a month tier. Obviously, they take a lot of time to make, and over 150 games played, so a lot of experience with them. And now we're going to start right at the back, a goalkeeper. There is no further instructions on the goalkeeper whatsoever. Left centre-back, we have got set as a ball-playing centre-back with stay wider on attacking width, and out of possession is a wide centre-back with no further instructions. On the right-hand side, the exact same. Ball-playing centre-back with dribble less, without possession, no further instructions, but set as a wide centre-back with your sitting centre-back with no further instructions on absolutely everything, just a centre-back. And that is so that in build-up, we can sit with sort of a little bit of a base there with the middle centre-back and the 2 ball-playing centre-backs pushing slightly higher up. Going on into the DM positions, we have 1 DM and 1 DLP. So the DM on the right-hand side, no further instructions, but out of possession, set as Mark Tighter on the standard defensive midfield position. The DLP on the left-hand side, no further instructions, but out of possession, set as Mark Tighter. Again, that is to be really aggressive against central attacking midfielders, which we were facing a lot of, and that was really stopping them kind of like free roam dropping in positions, being able to get the ball, turn and run at teams or find sprawls out to the left and right wing. That Mark Titer really stops that. Over on the left-hand side, we have a winger with stay wider, cut inside of the ball, but out of possession on tackle harder as a tracking wide midfielder. Now, you might look at this tactic and think you're going to get destroyed down the wings. You really don't, because these tracking wide midfielders are absolutely fantastic. And I will say as well, these two basically are a lot more attacking than wing backs. So there is a world of this tactic is even better when you can have wingers which are basically defenders, which kind of we managed to get somewhere with Harry Crawford. 9 tackling, 9 marking, 10 heading. You can see this is a tactic that is working with players which are not actually that good. Now, of course, Jordan's on the left-hand side was what it was as the winger with cut inside. However, on the right-hand side, much more just stay wider, but keep the width on that right-hand side, just making things ever so slightly different. If your left winger is more, if your right winger is more cut inside, your left winger is more hold, just simply switch that yourselves. Again, just with tackle harder on the tracking wide midfielder. But where this tactic really comes to life is this free roll. And I tried so many different things. I tried him as an attacking midfielder starting deep. I tried him as an attacking midfielder starting high. But we really unlocked the tactic with Mo Abdallah and we changed into a free roll. No further instructions in possession. Out of possession, trigger press and tackle harder as a pressing central midfielder where he drops slightly deeper but then presses high. And Mo Abdallah this season grabbed 14 goals and 9 assists overall, a 7.01 average rating. And looking into his stats, like you can see, he is not a true archetypal goal scorer. 9 finishing, 11 composure. If this was Nico Paz, I would imagine there to be probably 20 to 25 goals, 15 plus assists. But someone like Mo Abdallah, who just turning 19 years of age, just turning 20, from 19, was this good. A true free roll cam would be absolutely electric in that position. It's really important to have a deep line forward up front as well, so they can drop in and link up play. For us, that is Erik Braunsma. No further instructions in possession, out of possession, trigger press and tackle harder as a standard central forward. This deep line forward links up play really well, managing to get 12 assists and 10 goals. And again, looking into his stats, he's not your archetypal deep line forward. 9 passing. Realistically, a true deep line forward, you're going to absolutely smash it in that position. And then in the left side, we've got Jasper Hanstead, a centre forward, keeping that back line nice and pushed, meaning they can't drop off and squash the space. That centre forward enables that to happen. In possession, no further instructions. Out of possession, trigger press and tackle harder on that standard centre forward. In terms of the team instructions, you can see here, instructions-wise, shorter, standard tempo. Really important you're not being too quick and aggressive with the system. You need players to the free roll needs to be able to work its magic. The deep line forward as well. The winger needs to be able to push high. The playmakers and DMs and DM need to have time on the ball to pick the right pass. And that's something I really enjoyed with this system. When we changed it to higher tempo, it was only on the attacking variation when we're looking to go and get more goals. Standard time wasting, standard attacking transition. Again, there is a world where you put this into counter-attack. That could sort of be a 4th separate tactic if you wanted to. Adding that on to really go out there and try and get goals. It won't be on the attacking variant, but something else you can do. Stay wider and attacking width. Keep ball in play. Balanced creative freedom. Build-up strategy as balanced. Goal kicks, short and centre-backs. Everything else there on balanced. Progression through both flanks. Really trying to get them wingers to be nice and involved. Pass into feet. Standard patience. Balanced shots from distance, low crosses into the box, and out of possession, goal distribution speed as balanced. Out of possession, mid-block on the line of engagement, because, well, realistically, we've got sort of 2 DMs and 2 wingers. If we go to a high press, then wingers going to be crazy high up. So mid-block works best with a higher defensive line, really squeezing that gap between the DMs and the centre-backs. Trigger press more often, counter press, get stuck in, stop crosses, really important so that them tracking wide midfielders do track back and stop the crosses. And if they don't, some of the ball-playing centre-backs might go wide and the DMs will drop into that centre-back position. So very important that that is on, especially the fact there's no wing-backs or wingers or full-backs. Pressing trap, balance, short goal distribution stop, yes, and a balanced defensive line behaviour. And that is a standard variation on a clean slate, positive mentality. In terms of the attacking shape, where you're looking to try and get a few extra goals, say you're down by 1 with 15 minutes to go, or you're against a team you know you should be able to go out there and absolutely batter, there is ever so slight changes to the system. Goalkeeper and backline stay the exact same, as do the DMs on DLP and DM. Really, you don't want these 5 going anywhere too quickly. Regardless of how attacking you're going to be, you are just going to get counter-attacked. So where things change is the right and left wings. The right winger is to be fair, very, very similar on stay wider, on attacking width, out of possession, on tackle harder. Pretty much still as the winger and tracking wide midfielder. But on the left-hand side, that left mid goes up to left wing as a winger with standard attacking width, cut inside the ball, dribble more, and out of possession, pressing and tackling harder. This does mean that you can get opened up on that left-hand side, but like I said, if your right-hand side is better, do it on the right. If your left-hand side is better, do it on the left. But like I said, this is when you're going for a goal. This is when you're trying to smash a team. This is when you are kind of Hail Marying a few bits here. So that left winger will open up a lot more space. The free roll will then kind of drift more right, allowing sort of the DLP to step up a little bit, and giving your left winger that a little bit more space. Still keeping the 2 up front, DLF and CF forward. Nothing changes there. Clean slate and attacking mentality. But of course, things definitely change in terms of the team instructions. Standard passing directness now. Higher tempo. Really trying to just move things up an extra notch. Less on the time wasting. Still standard counter-attacking transitions. Wider attacking width. Short quick distribution to the centre-backs. Still progressing down both flanks. No longer having it, so passing to feet, we are doing balance, so we can go in behind, we can go to feet, and the only other change is distribute quickly on goalkeeper distribution. You might think there's going to be loads of changes on the out of possession, but there's not, because, well, when you do lose the ball, you need to be able to get back in that position nice and easy. So I believe this is all exactly the same as it is in the standard variation. Because of the tactic, you can't go too crazy out of possession. You need to be able to drop back into this sort of 5-3-2, and then that slowly can revert back. If you have too high of a line, if you have too too much pressing and your DMs and everything, you will get caught out a lot, and that comes from experience with this tactic. In possession on this team visualizer, things might not look so different with these wingers. They basically look the exact same, but in the match engine, there is a bunch of changes out there. And then in terms of the defensive variation, it changes quite a lot. We go much more sort of to a 3-5-2 with the wing backs rather than being too aggressive. And you'll see what I mean by that. As you can see in the combined shape, because we've got wingers and pressing fullbacks, they kind of sit in that middle gap as a wing back, but allows a much quicker transition back to pressing fullbacks and then steps up to get there. So they sort of sit in that flat back 5, but are nice and aggressive rather than starting higher and tracking back. They sort of get right back and then go and press, which is really, really good. So in possession, we are looking at a very, very similar ball playing centre backs left and right, middle centre back, goalkeeper. No changes whatsoever. The DLP does become a DM, the same as on the left and right, because you're being really, really simple. You are either trying to see out a game here or be as calm and composed as possible. So you don't have the free roll. You change that to a midfield playmaker, dropping him deeper, enable him to link up play between the DMs, between the DLF and the wingers, enable him just to sort of be that orchestrator rather than trying to find the free roll. Still on the pressing central midfielder, press in and out of possession, tackle harder and trigger press more often. If then you look into the left hand and right hand wingers, you've got left winger and right winger the exact same, with stay wider and out of possession, trigger press more often, because like I said, they're dropping right back to be pressing fullbacks. Now, if you want to change this ever so slightly, you can go to where they are wing backs. In my opinion, still a little bit being caught out a bit too much. Wingbacks press a hell of a lot and too high up. I'd rather them be pressing fullback, so they start deeper, and then when they press, hopefully someone else goes out and covers a position. The DLF on the right hand side is the same as is the centre forward. Everything else is exactly the same. Team instructions, of course, changes a lot. Shorter passing, standard tempo, nothing too crazy. Time wasting more often, standard transition, wider on the attacking width, play for set pieces, play through the press and past the feet, trying to really keep possession of the ball when you do have it. Short goal kicks, centre back distribution, distribute down both flanks, past the feet, work ball into box, discourage long shots, low crosses, and slow pace down. Really keeping possession and annoying a team. Out of possession, low block, standard line, standard trigger press, counter press, get stuck in, stop crosses, and stop the short goal distribution. Again, you can see in possession, this is how it builds up. You can sort of see mainly in this position here. Then wingers don't quite sit that high up. Actually, in the match engine, they'll come back and rotate with sort of in this kind of area here, come inside a little bit, try and lose a man. Well, the DLF would, of course, also drop off to give options. But you can see that is where we're able to build up, which is really, really strong. And, of course, in the instant build up, pretty much the exact same as everything else. What you also get in this tactic is lovely sort of triangle rotations. You can see here, ball's going to go directly into our cam. We're then going to see a nice little triangle with the two strikers, where eventually the centre forward will go through and stick it in the bottom corner. And like I've said multiple times throughout this video, the real key of this system is that free roll. It is my favourite roll on the game, and this system really gets the best out of it, as you can see from Mo Abdella. If you guys have got a cam which we're trying to unlock and you want to see some more traditional number 10 play, this tactic could be exactly for you. Like I said, all links down in the description. The main variation downloadable for completely free. The rest, if you do want to help support the Patreon, you can download as well. A massive thank you for watching this video, and I'll speak to you next time.